and one time I ended up dancing with a tall, sweaty Italian guy. Hashtag take one for the team. It is Sunday, March 31st, and today on Sunday Sofatime, we are going to be doing the Cruise Expert Test. Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you're here. My name is Morgan. I'm from the very unofficial travel guides. This is the Red Sofa, and every Sunday I sit here and talk about some fun travel-related issue, theme, whatever. And today we're going to talk about the Cruise Expert Test. A couple days ago, I created this myself, and I posted it to my Facebook. So if you want to do the test when you're done with this and share it with your friends, please share it with your friends. Then you can go and follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and also Patreon as well. So good. Now we've got that out of the way. Let's talk more about this test. This is just an idea I had because of something else that somebody shared on my Facebook, and I thought, there should be one of these for cruising. So I created this, just this list of things that I know are sort of like typical cruising things, and I thought it would be fun to to make like a meme out of it or whatever you call this, a survey. And just to let everybody know in advance, it's just for fun. It's not a real test. Nobody's getting a grade. It's already gotten like hundreds of comments on my Facebook, and I know that several people have shared it, and I don't know what other people are writing about it. But geez, some people are like, well, I would have gotten more points if you had posted this or this or this, or this isn't fair because I've never been on any of those ships, but I've been on a lot of cruises. And I'm like, okay, it's just for fun. Anyways, I thought it would be interesting for some of you if I would sit down here and go through the points and tell you the ones that I gave myself, and maybe a couple fun stories and tangents will arise along the way. Shall we? I'm going to start with the first column and just go through that way. Ordered room service. Of course, you guys know I have ordered room service, especially on the last 4 or 5 cruises I've been on. I have ordered room service with you all, so you can see those videos in my library. Look for cruise ship mukbang or cruise ship room service, and then you'll find those. Played bingo. When Marcus and I first started cruising, that was something we did on every cruise, and I don't know when we stopped going. But I feel like the last time we played bingo was on the cruise on the Norwegian, what was it, getaway or escape that we did with my mom to Jamaica. I know we played bingo on that cruise and my mom actually won. But I know the last couple cruises we haven't played bingo. I don't know why. Ate in a specialty restaurant. Although we don't do it very often, I have done it. One of the, two of the sort of highlights I can think of, teppanyaki and Wonderland, although I didn't find the food at Wonderland the vegetarian food at Wonderland very amazing, but just the whole experience was a cool thing. Gone on a ship-sponsored excursion. Yes, I have done a few of those. It's been a while though. No, we did a ship-sponsored excursion. Why can't I say that this morning? A ship-sponsored excursion on the Meraviglia. We took the ship transportation into Rome and back. I've done a self-guided excursion. Yeah, usually that is what we do. Gotten seasick. I don't know if I've gotten seasick. I've never had to puke on a ship because of seasickness, but I have puked on a ship because of another point that's coming up. But I have felt uncomfortable on a ship because just a lot of rocking and rolling was happening, but it wasn't that kind of nauseous, those kind of things. I actually have never experienced that. And I'm not saying I want to. Lost your cruise card. Yes, I've done this. I left it laying in the casino. Tried to open the wrong cabin. Yes, I did that just on my most recent cruise. And the reason is, or the way that it happens is because after the 3rd or 4th day, you just sort of remember, or at least with me, I remember the path I need to get to my room, and I'm not necessarily looking at the cabin numbers. I know okay, I go out of the elevator, I turn right, I walk down to the bend, and then I bend, and then I turn right again, and then it's the 3rd cabin. You know what I mean? And what happened was I got out of an elevator on the wrong floor. So it was the right cabin, but it was just one floor below our floor. And I was like, why isn't this opening? Did my card stop working? And thank goodness nobody was actually in the cabin when I was trying to do that, because they would have freaked out.
Excursion.
But has that ever happened to you guys? Moving on, found someone else's cruise card. Yes, and I've found a few people's cruise cards, and it's always in the casino. People always leave them stuck in the slot machines, which is exactly what I did when I lost mine. Booked next cruise while still on current cruise. We haven't done exactly that. What we did once is we booked like a credit that we could use for further cruise, which is sort of, it's still something you do at the next cruise counter, and we thought it sounded really like a good deal and a great way to sort of like, I don't know, reserve some some funds for our next cruise. But in the end, it turned out to be really annoying to try to use on our next cruise, so we won't do that again. Visited the onboard spa. Yeah, I've been in a couple onboard spas. I've gotten a couple massages. Actually, I think literally only a couple. One time on the Aida Luna because they were having a really good special while we were in port. And then on the MSC Meraviglia, which was our last cruise, and that was because it was included in our package. But otherwise, I tend to think, and I actually made a video where this is part of the video, I tend to think that getting any kind of massage or manicure or anything like that on a ship is just way too expensive. Get it done on land, it'll cost you half the price. Stood naked on my balcony. Yes, in fact, I've done that probably on every cruise that I've had a balcony on. It's not because I want to like expose myself. I definitely, if I knew that people could see me, I definitely would not do it. It's more like just, you get out of the shower and, maybe you want a little bit of fresh air or something. And if you have a balcony where nobody can see in it, then why not? I know a lot of you have done this too, so don't shame me. Eaten so much it became hard to walk. Well, isn't that like one of the points of going on a cruise? Yes, I have definitely done this several times. Cruise Western Caribbean. Yes. Cruise Eastern Caribbean. Yes. Question, do you guys say Caribbean or do you say Caribbean? And I've realized that depending on how it's placed in the sentence, I say it differently. Because just like right now, I said Caribbean, right? But I call it Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean sounds wrong to me. However, Royal Caribbean, how do I say that? Royal Caribbean? No, I say Royal Caribbean. Why is that? And how do you guys say it? Or do you guys change it up like I do too? Anyways, I have cruised the Western and Eastern Caribbean. I've cruised the Mediterranean a few times now. I have not cruised to Alaska, but I probably will sometime soon. I have not cruised to Hawaii. That's one thing I don't know if I will do, just because Hawaii is just so far away from where I live. I don't know, but maybe. I have cruised Northern Europe a few times. If you don't know, that's where I live. I live here in Hamburg, Germany, which is Northern Europe. I have had a balcony cabin. I have had ocean view cabins. I have had inside cabins. I have had a mini suite. I have never had a suite, but if anybody would like me to stay in a suite and wants to pay for it, get in touch. One thing I didn't write here is I also had a studio balcony cabin, and I have also had a virtual balcony cabin, which are sort of two, like hybrid cabin types. And I also have videos of those in my library, so if you go under and click on my name, and then you can search in the videos, you'll find those. I have cruised with Royal Caribbean or Royal Caribbean. I have cruised with Norwegian Cruise Lines. Those are the two cruise lines I've cruised with the most. I have never cruised with I've not cruised with Carnival officially, but I have cruised with AIDA Cruises, and that is the German brand of Carnival. However, the experience and the ships are just really, really different than like a real Carnival ship, like the Carnival Sunshine or whatever. So I didn't take that point. Have not cruised with Celebrity. I have not cruised with Disney, although people ask me to do it all the time. And I have, I should make a video about that, about why I haven't done it. And what would be the title? Why I'll never cruise with Disney, or why I refuse to cruise with Disney, maybe. Long story short, it's just too expensive for me. If I did one Disney cruise and I couldn't do any other cruises the whole year, and it's not worth it to me. Here's something that has become a big discussion point. The next thing is you get 1 point for every time you stopped in Nassau, or I guess the right way to say it is Nassau. And so many people were writing like, unfortunately, I've got 10 Nassau points, and it's because I think most people don't enjoy stopping there because, well, it's not that, I think that you enjoy stopping there once, and then after that, like, so many cruises that leave southern Florida stop there. And so if you've done 6 cruises leaving from southern Florida, probably 5 of them have stopped at Nassau. And then it just gets to the point where you're like, what else is there to do here? And so that was, if you go to the comments on Facebook, you'll see that a lot of people were like, writing funny stuff about getting so many points about going to Nassau. And I think I gave myself 4 points for that, although I'm pretty sure I've been there more often. All right, moving on to the single points. Bought something in duty free, definitely. Most recently, I bought some cologne in the duty free from Dior. Participated in The Quest. The Quest is a crazy, like, sort of high-speed scavenger hunt audience participation game that they do on Royal Caribbean, and I always like to go watch it, and I never like to participate in it willingly, but there are some times where you just get dragged into it, and that has happened to me. And one time I ended up dancing with a tall, sweaty Italian guy. Hashtag take one for the team. Been so hungover, you've stayed on board in port. Yes, I have definitely done that. Been so hungover, you've stayed in the cabin all day. Maybe. Saw a Broadway musical? Yes. Won a keychain in trivia. I have won keychains, t-shirts, fridge magnets, pens and pencil sets and stuff like that. So definitely won a lot of that stuff. Transatlantic westbound, have not done that yet. However, I have done a transatlantic eastbound. And we talk about doing a transatlantic westbound. We talk about it just about every year because it's the time of the year where it's starting to get cold here, and so it would be nice to go on a cruise where like it starts and it's sort of cold, and then it just gets warmer and warmer and warmer every day, and then you end up someplace in Florida or Puerto Rico or whatever, and it's like warm. Cruised from Miami. Yes, done several cruises from Miami. I like cruising from Miami. Cruise from Port Everglades. Yes, that is the cruise port in Fort Lauderdale. Also very convenient, very close to the city, very close to the airport, really easy to get to. Cruised from Port Canaveral. That's like up, they call that like the Orlando cruise port. So it's just a little over an hour east of Orlando on the coast. And that is where we did our very first cruise from, and actually haven't been there since then. Wow. Anyways, cruise from Civitavecchia. Yes, I've cruised from there a few times, and then as a fun thing, I said, can correctly pronounce Civitavecchia, and I don't know, I think I just said it wrong, so I did not give myself a point for that. Sang karaoke? No, I have not done that. I probably will never do it. Done the rock climbing wall? Yes, I have done that, but it's not something I do on every ship. I think most of the big ships nowadays have a rock climbing wall, and I enjoy doing it, but it's not something that I'm like, oh, I definitely have to do that. Done the water slides? Yes, I have done the water slides on every ship I've ever been on that has had water slides, except when I was on the Harmony of the Seas, and I had that accident and slit my foot open. I ended up not being able to do all of them because I had only done one of them, and then I had the accident, and then I couldn't do the other ones. Unfortunately. Had a poolside cocktail. Yes, more than one. I mean, please. Gotten sunburn? Yeah, I mean, I think, you know what? Comment in the comments below if you've never gotten sunburn on a cruise. That would interest me. I think it happens to all of us at least once, doesn't it? And usually it happens when you're leaving port, especially if you're like someplace in South Florida and you've just flown down there, like from Minnesota or someplace, and you're not like in vacation mode or like sunny mode yet, and you think, we're just gonna go up on deck for a couple minutes as we sail away, and then 2 hours later you're still sitting there with like your third Corona and you're baking. Know what I mean? Gotten up extra early to reserve a sun lounger. I have to say, I have never done this. I'm not that person, and I will not be that person, and I hope you are also not that person. Removed someone else's stuff from a reserved sun lounger. Yes, I have done that, and I know that a lot of people also have written that they've done that too. And so if you are one of those people who wakes up early and goes and lays your stuff on a sun lounger and then doesn't come back until like 12 noon, your stuff might be gone. I'm just saying. And the final one, and yeah, I mean, I think everybody who's watching this now has gotten this point, watched a very unofficial travel guide to help plan a cruise. So I'm glad that you are all here. And I really enjoy doing this stuff because I read more and more comments and people write me more and more to say, you know, we booked this cruise because of your videos, or thank you so much for posting this video. Now we know that that's not for us, and things like that. And that kind of stuff just makes me really happy because that's like one of the main reasons I do this anyways. All right, so if you want to do the cruise expert test, you can either, you know, go back and watch the video and give yourself a point for it and write it in the comments below here, or go to the Facebook page for the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and by the time this goes online, you're gonna have to scroll back a few days to find the cruise expert test, write your score there, and please share it with your friends too so they can do it as well. And now comes the time on Sunday Sofa Time, where I comment on your comments live on air. In last week's Sunday Sofa Time, I talked about Disney's ridiculously expensive deluxe resorts. And actually, it's become a really popular video. I'm surprised at how many people are interested in learning about this stuff and who actually agree with me as well. So these comments are from that video, and I want to start with a really nice one from Charizel PR or Charizel. I don't know how to say this. Charizel writes, a little bit off topic, but I have been a follower for about 2 years now. Thanks to some of your videos, I have been able to have a great time on the Harmony of the Seas at Disney and Universal. Oh, thank you. Anyway, the craziest thing happened. I am going on the NCL Escape for the first time in April, and I let NCL pick my cabin. I got assigned to the cabin your mom had, which you toured in one of your videos. I thought that was the coolest thing. Small world. Isn't that amazing? I mean, the fact that just all those things aligned, that this reader or Charizel watched my video tour of a cabin on a ship, booked the ship and said, you know what, NCL, whatever, I just want a balcony cabin, you picked it, and then ended up in the same cabin that I reviewed in the video. Small, small world. Debbie Meders writes, some of the high-end $600 to $700 rooms at the deluxe hotels are club level, which includes a continental breakfast with juices, coffee, teas, sodas. Some provide wines, champagne, lunchtime snacks, and or evening snacks and evening desserts. Some liquor, some afternoon snacks. I can't remember all the perks. I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly. It may also include a cast member to help plan your trip, book tours and reservations you want. I've only looked at the Grand Floridian. I think some of the other deluxe hotels offer their own club level rooms and perks. Anyways, I've seen a video of one woman that had a refillable club mug. She filled her mug with coffee and topped it off with booze. I would never do something like that. And they headed out to the Magic Kingdom Park for the evening. You might want to check out the club level perks. Well, you know, I think that that is all, of course, when you factor that into to the price, it does, you know, I guess all I'm gonna say is it's still too expensive. $700 a night for a basic hotel room with, like, you know, 2 beds, 1 bathroom, and a balcony. Even if the balcony is overlooking Disney World, $700 a night is just too expensive, even if it includes snacks and a glass of wine. And I'm not judging anybody who has that kind of money and pays to go there, because I would love to have that in my budget and be able to convince myself that I could do that too, but I don't. And you know, like I said in the video, for $700, I can pay for like 5 nights at the Pop Century, and I was perfectly happy at the Pop Century. But we definitely didn't get free wine or snacks there. Final comment is from Nerds Domain. Nerds Domain writes, have you looked at the DVC rental for staying at the deluxe resorts? The rental cost ends up being much lower than the price to stay. You might check that out next time you decide to head to Disney World. And actually, this is something that I find really interesting. Really interesting. And if you have any experience with this, please write to me. I would love to discuss it and hear from your experience, because for our last trip, the one where we took the whole family with us, that was one thing that we started looking into, but we were just too late and there was nothing left. There was nothing available, but the price was very attractive. It just seems sort of sketchy, you know what I mean? All right, thanks for watching. I hope you guys had a great weekend. You're gonna have a fantastic Sunday today. I know you are. Hopefully it's not cold and rainy like it is here in Hamburg. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and I look forward to seeing you coming up on Friday for perhaps a room tour of the Coronado Springs, a resort at Disney that does not cost $700 a night, and next Sunday for another Sunday Sofa Time right here in front of the red sofa. See ya.